What's your best, the tables have turned moment? My new neighbor, Mr. Henderson, decided my 10-year-old oak tree ruined his precious view of the sunset. He was a retired investment banker with a face that looked permanently displeased and a belief that the world was his personal property. He offered me $500 to cut it down. I politely declined. The tree had been a gift from my late wife. Henderson did not take no for an answer. That's when his campaign of petty torment began. It started with him filing frivolous complaints with the city. My grass was a quarter-inch too long. My recycling bin was visible from the street. Then he escalated to playing loud opera music at 6 in the morning, aimed directly at my house. The police said there was nothing they could do. It wasn't technically breaking any noise ordinances. I was at my wit's end, living in a constant state of anxiety in my own home. The final straw came when he installed 3 military-grade motion-activated floodlights on his roof and aimed them directly at my bedroom and living room windows. The light was blinding. It was like trying to sleep on the surface of the sun. He'd deliberately walk around his yard at night to trigger them, bathing my house in an obnoxious glare for hours. Again, the police were useless. It's his property, sir. He can install whatever lights he wants. I felt completely powerless. I was losing sleep. My health was suffering. And I was seriously considering selling the house I had lived in for 20 years. Then, one morning, as I was glaring at his house through my blinds, I saw it. A large bird, bigger than a hawk, perched right on top of one of the floodlights. It had huge, dark eyes and a distinct tuft of feathers on its head. It was a great horned owl. I did some research. My heart started to beat faster. Great horned owls are a protected species under the Federal Migratory Bird Treaty Act. It's illegal to disturb them, their nests, or their eggs. A plan began to form in my mind, a beautiful karmic plan. I couldn't force the owl to nest there, but I could create an inviting environment. I set up a high-resolution camera aimed at his roof and began documenting everything for 2 weeks. The owl just used the light as a perch, a warm spot to hunt from at night. Henderson hated it. I could see him shouting at it from his window. Then, one glorious afternoon, the owl started bringing back twigs and scraps of leaves. It was building a nest right in the nook between 2 of the floodlights. The lights provided the perfect shelter and warmth. Henderson's own weapon was becoming his prison. He must have realized his predicament, because a few days later, a van labeled pest removal pulled up to his house. I was ready. I had the number for the state's Fish and Wildlife Department on speed dial. I called them the second the technician put his ladder against Henderson's house. A state agent arrived in less than 20 minutes, just as the pest guy was climbing toward the roof. The agent calmly explained to a sputtering Henderson that the nest was now a federally protected site. He couldn't touch it. He couldn't have it moved, and more importantly, he couldn't alter the environment around it. That included the lights, if he turned them off, moved them, or even let the bulbs burn out. He would be disturbing the nest, a crime punishable by a fine of up to $100,000 and potential jail time. The look on Henderson's face was a masterpiece of impotent rage. He was legally required, by federal law, to maintain the very instruments of harassment he had built. The owls successfully raised 2 owlets that season, and every night, the floodlights would switch on, beautifully illuminating the majestic birds for the whole neighborhood to see. His house has been on the market for 6 months, but nobody wants to buy a home with a federally protected bird sanctuary on the roof.